Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and the New England Patriots have some surprising news coming our way here on Monday morning as a running back primed to make the team is done, placed on the season ending IR and ending a potential surprising campaign for a young player. Another huge shocker as a starter, longest tenured Patriot, benched already, and we take a look at the snap tracker for both the offense and defense on Friday's win over the Commanders. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for the channel. Get in the comments and let us know what you think about the Patriots backfield, the defensive backfield, and potentially moving on from one of the longest tenured players on the team, and what we can see from those snap tracker totals, who's up, who's down, and who might really be in trouble. Also, make sure you give us that like, go back and check out all of our old episodes after this one, and keep following along with Pat's Latest for all of your breaking Patriots news. We start and look at Lan Larison, the undrafted rookie free agent from UC Davis. Unfortunately, will be out for the season, placed on season-ending IR after undergoing foot surgery. Larison actually had 35 yards and a touchdown over the win against the Commanders. And even more impressive, he broke his foot during that game, went on to score that touchdown, didn't come out, didn't tell anyone, and actually informed the Patriots after the game he was dealing with the issue. Unfortunately, found out that it was a serious one, and the decision was made to put him on IR and end his year and career, really, before it even gets started. This is a bit of a good news, bad news. Larison was going to be in the mix to make the 53-man roster. I think absolutely could have been on the practice squad, and questionable if another team would have actually picked him up based upon what he did in the next two games as well. What this does is allows the Patriots to hold on to Larison by putting him on that IR and not have him count against the team totals. But it means you won't get to see what he can actually bring to the table here in year one. And again, it's a player that was really locked in at that running back four spot. And I think it makes life easier for the Patriots to say, let's carry our three running backs and figure out what we want to do at fullback, which we'll get into later when we start looking at the offensive breakdown. But a tough break, no pun intended, for Lan Larison, who will miss his rookie season, but hope to see him back with the Patriots in 2026. A player who could be looking at the end of their Patriots career, very surprisingly, is Kyle Duggar. Duggar is down as he was not seen with the top defensive unit when they went for practice on Sunday, the first after the Patriots win on Friday, which Duggar played a pivotal role in. He seemingly was demoted to the second team with rookie Cal safety, fourth rounder Craig Woodson, along with Jalen Hawkins, both rotating in at his spot, and Duggar out with the twos. And it is very surprising for a player in the second year of a 4-year, $50 million deal not out there. Unfortunately, Duggar has not looked the same since he was injured, and he's 29 years old, and we know the story as a player drafted surprisingly in the second round out of D2 Lenore Rhine, but at 29 years old now and had the injury last year. He battled his way through it to play in 13 games, but really has not been able to recapture that form, and it is unfortunate. And with a new coaching staff and regime in place, they are making difficult choices, and the difficult reality here is that Kyle Duggar is not a starter for this team. And even more so, Kyle Duggar likely will not be on this team when the season starts because the 53-man roster is going to be very tight, and the depth of this team, especially at the safety position, is one that they can allow for Duggar to be let go. It would be a $14 million dead cap hit for him each of the next two seasons, but being 60 million under, the Patriots can deal with that. It also means it would be difficult for the Patriots to actually trade Duggar, but we'll see how everything kind of plays out. Again, look for Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins to step up and take over that starting role. But again, Kyle Duggar very much may not be on this roster when week one rolls around. Looking at who might actually be on the roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball, taking a look at the snap tracker, how many snaps each player played. And again, starters only expected to play between 5 and 15 snaps. And then seeing who kind of gets in there. Players who kind of stay in there a little bit longer are fighting for their roster spot. And if you actually are seeing them and you're not a younger player, it is very telling. So that plays into it for Anthony Jennings, who played 36 snaps, 7 of those on special teams as well. And that is 4 away from the most on the Patriots. And that was actually Marte Mapu, who played 40 snaps, 11 on special teams as well. Both players who are holdovers, veterans, if you will, not looking good for their chances of making this 53-man roster. Both have had success in a myriad of ways with the Patriots. Unfortunately, with this new regime, again, it looks like they could be skewing the wrong way. And I think when we start to look at the end of this week on what the roster projection looks like before game number 2, it will be Jennings and Mapu looking inside out. Truman Jones, a former Harvard football player and captain, one that I actually did a photo shoot when I was the Yale sports information director and brought our captain, Nick Gargiulo, up to do the annual photo shoot with them. Truman actually played 36 snaps, which is a high number, but and 10 on special teams, I should say. But more importantly, he actually drew the start for the Patriots on Friday night. Now, several players were out, and Truman got a chance to show what he's all about. But again, that could be someone that could end up taking Anthony Jennings' spot, and will be very interesting to see how he progresses through practice this week and into the game. Finally, the last one we wanted to take a spotlight at is Javari Ritzy, the UNC defensive tackle who had some fanfare coming in. Unfortunately, only played 11 snaps, had 1 on special teams as well. And again, would want to see more from him. I think is a little bit telling that we didn't get a chance to see more. And I think that is one that can go one of two ways. Either the coaching staff is ready and they're good. I think it's more on the other side that he hasn't earned those spots quite yet and will need to do a little bit more before they can show what's going on. On the offensive side of the ball, there are many players who are impacted and I think also very, very telling for that snap track total. Travion Henderson, who made such a big impact, you wouldn't know it by the snap count. Only 7 total plays for him, the second least of anyone on the team. Hunter Henry had that distinction because, well, we know what Hunter's bringing to the table. Additionally, some surprising ones. Jack Westover got 13 snaps, 10 of those on special teams, but I think it's important with those 3 on offense. He is a player that could actually find his way into Lan Larison's spot as the fullback for this team and also become the 3rd tight end because Jaheim Bell, who would be fighting for that 3rd tight end spot and saw 9 snaps, those all 9 came on special teams. So don't be surprised if it's Westover who takes that 3rd tight end / fullback spot for your New England Patriots. Additionally, we've talked about Efton Chisholm at length, played 32 snaps total, 6 on special teams, was all over the place for the Patriots, and expect him to see more and more so. And I think at this point, he is really etching his name onto this 53-man roster. Another one fighting for his life, Javon Baker, who played 26 snaps, 6 on special teams. But of those 6 special teams, had 2 tackles. So again, find your way onto this roster. Be a special teams contributor, which he has spoke highly of, like, I will do anything this team wants me to. And I think especially now with Jalen Polk getting injured, no word on the severity of his injury, and that forearm, arm, and shoulder injury came off the field after landing hard, opens up some potential opportunities. Finally, looking at the offensive line, Cole Strange actually played 25 snaps, again, losing his left guard spot to Jared Wilson. So Patriots looking to start 2 rookies on that side of the line, and Strange moving over to backing up right guard. Not looking good for Cole Strange. And also Layden Robinson, who we expected to be a depth position player on the interior, also played 25 snaps and into the 4th quarter. Does not bode well for his chances to make this roster as well. Again, two more games coming for your New England Patriots in the preseason, so a lot to still shake out. And we know injuries. Land Larison at the top, unfortunately, lost for the season. We know there will be another one. We know this team will have to have a lot of hands ready to go, and we'll see how it shakes out. But we will have it all for you right here on Pat's Latest. So make sure you subscribe for the channel, get the alerts on each day for when the news comes out. We will break it all down for you here. Make sure you get into the comments. Let us know what you think about the performance from that preseason game. If Kyle Duggar's actually going to make this roster, make sure you give us a like if you like what you hear, and go back and check out all of our old videos so you know exactly what's going on with your New England Patriots. Fight on, Foxborough.